Introduction. In the United States, server wages vary dramatically from state to state. Some states allow restaurants to pay as little as $2.13 per hour, while others guarantee the full minimum wage on top of tips. Today, we're ranking all 50 states, plus Washington, D.C., by where tipping culture pays off the most, combining base wages, average tips, and total earnings. All figures are approximate estimates based on recent BLS and DOL data from 2024 to 2025. The results might change how you think about leaving that 20% tip. How tipped wages work in the U.S. Under federal law, employers can pay tipped workers a base wage of just $2.13 per hour, as long as tips bring their total earnings up to the federal minimum of $7.25. This is known as the tip credit system. However, many states have set their own tipped minimum wages much higher, and 7 states have eliminated the tip credit entirely, requiring full minimum wage before tips. The data we present is approximate and based on publicly available figures. Number 1. Washington. Washington tops our list with the highest total server earnings in the country. With no tip credit allowed, servers earn the full state minimum wage of approximately $16.66 per hour before tips even come into play. Average tips add another $14.50 per hour, bringing total hourly earnings to approximately $31.16. That translates to roughly $65,000 per year for full-time servers. Number 2. California. California is another no-tip credit state, meaning servers receive the full $16.50 per hour minimum wage regardless of tips. With average tips of around $13.80 per hour, total earnings reach about $30.30 hourly. While the cost of living is notoriously high, California servers in cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles can earn over $70,000 annually at upscale establishments. Number 3. Oregon. Oregon rounds out the top 3 with its strong worker protections. The state mandates a minimum wage of approximately $14.70 for all workers, including tipped employees. No tip credit here. With average tips hovering around $13.20 per hour, servers take home a total of roughly $27.90 per hour. Portland's thriving food scene makes this state especially lucrative for experienced servers. Number 4. Nevada. Nevada's booming hospitality industry makes it a powerhouse for tipped workers. The state's minimum wage is approximately $12 per hour for all workers. Average tips clock in at a remarkable $15.60 per hour, among the highest in the nation. Total server earnings average about $27.60 hourly. Las Vegas strip servers at high-end restaurants can earn significantly more, sometimes exceeding $80,000 per year. Number 5. Alaska. Alaska surprises many by landing in the top 5. As a no-tip credit state, servers earn the full minimum wage of approximately $11.73 per hour. Tips in Alaska average about $14.90 per hour, partly due to higher menu prices and generous tourism-driven spending. Total earnings come in around $26.63 per hour, making it one of the best states for servers despite its remote location. Number 6. Washington, D.C. While not a state, Washington, D.C. deserves its own spot on this ranking. D.C.'s tipped minimum wage is approximately $10 per hour, and the city's political dining culture and expense account spending push average tips to about $16 per hour. Total earnings average approximately $26 hourly, making D.C. one of the most lucrative markets for servers in the entire country. Number 7. Hawaii. Hawaii's tipped minimum wage is approximately $12.75 per hour, among the highest in the nation. Average tips run about $12.20 per hour, fueled by tourism and resort dining. Total earnings for servers average approximately $24.95 per hour. However, Hawaii's extremely high cost of living, with median rent over $2,000 per month, means those earnings don't stretch as far as they might elsewhere. Number 8. New York. New York's tipped minimum wage stands at approximately $10.65 per hour for food service workers outside of New York City, where it reaches the full $16.50 minimum. Average tips statewide are about $13.50 per hour, bringing total earnings to roughly $24.15 to $30 depending on location. New York City servers at upscale Manhattan restaurants regularly pull in over $75,000 annually. Number 9. Montana. Montana is a hidden gem for servers. As another state with no tip credit, tipped workers earn the full minimum wage of approximately $10.55 per hour. Average tips add approximately $13.40 per hour, bringing total earnings to around $23.95. While Montana's restaurant scene is smaller than coastal states, the combination of guaranteed base pay and solid tips makes it an attractive place for servers. Number 10. Minnesota. Minnesota eliminated the tip credit years ago, ensuring servers receive the full state minimum of approximately $11.13 per hour. Average tips come in around $12.80 per hour, pushing total earnings to approximately $23.93. The Twin Cities metro area, with its vibrant dining culture, offers even higher earnings potential. Minnesota servers enjoy some of the most stable income in the industry. Number 11. Colorado. Colorado's tipped minimum wage is approximately $10.63 per hour, and the state's growing food scene has been a boon for servers. Average tips come in around $12.30 per hour, yielding total earnings of about $22.93 hourly. Denver's booming restaurant market, alongside resort towns like Aspen and Vail, creates opportunities where servers can earn well above the state average during peak seasons. Number 12. Arizona. Arizona's tipped minimum wage sits at approximately $11.35 per hour, and the state's tourism industry keeps tips flowing. Servers earn an average of $10.90 in tips per hour, bringing total earnings to about $22.25. Scottsdale and Sedona are particularly lucrative markets, where resort dining and snowbird season create peak earning periods from November through April. Number 13. Massachusetts. Massachusetts sets its tipped minimum wage at approximately $6.75 per hour, well above the federal floor, but still modest. What makes the Bay State shine is its robust tipping culture, with average tips of about $15.20 per hour. Total server earnings reach approximately $21.95 hourly. Boston's acclaimed dining scene drives much of this, with some downtown servers earning $60,000 or more per year. Number 14. Florida. Florida's tipped minimum wage is approximately $8.98 per hour, and its massive tourism industry generates substantial tip income. Average tips clock in at about $12.40 per hour, producing total earnings of approximately $21.38. Miami Beach and Orlando servers benefit enormously from tourist traffic, though seasonal fluctuations can make income less predictable than in year-round dining markets. Number 15. Connecticut. Connecticut offers a tipped minimum wage of approximately $6.38 per hour, but the state's affluent population drives generous tipping. Average tips for servers reach about $14.80 per hour, pushing total earnings to approximately $21.18. Fairfield County, home to some of the wealthiest communities in the nation, sees servers at fine dining establishments earning significantly above state averages. Number 16. Illinois. Illinois requires a tipped minimum wage of approximately $7.80 per hour, comfortably above the federal minimum. Average tips add about $12.50 per hour, for total earnings around $20.30. Chicago is the real story here. The city's renowned restaurant scene means servers at acclaimed establishments in the West Loop or River North can easily surpass $55,000 in annual earnings. Number 17. New Jersey. New Jersey's tipped minimum wage is approximately $5.62 per hour, but strong tipping habits push total earnings higher. Average tips are about $14.10 per hour, bringing total server earnings to approximately $19.72. The Jersey Shore resort towns and the upscale dining scene in Bergen County and Hoboken help servers earn well above the state average, particularly during summer months. Number 18. Vermont. Vermont's tipped minimum wage is approximately $6.84 per hour, and the state's farm-to-table dining culture supports solid tipping. Average tips are about $12.50 per hour, bringing total earnings to approximately $19.34. Burlington's restaurant scene and ski resort towns like Stowe and Killington offer higher-than-average earning opportunities for servers during tourist seasons. Number 19. Maine. Maine's tipped minimum wage is approximately $7.08 per hour, and the state's seafood-driven dining scene generates solid tips during tourist season. Average tips are about $11.80 per hour, bringing total earnings to approximately $18.88. Portland, Maine has emerged as one of America's top food destinations, creating premium earning opportunities for experienced servers. Number 20. Maryland. Maryland's tipped minimum wage is approximately $3.63 per hour, but the state's proximity to Washington, D.C. boosts tip earnings considerably. Average tips are about $14.20 per hour, producing total earnings of approximately $17.83. Servers in the Baltimore Inner Harbor and D.C. suburb restaurants in Montgomery County enjoy some of the strongest tip income on the East Coast. Number 21. Missouri. Missouri's tipped minimum wage is approximately $6.38 per hour, putting it in the middle of the pack for base pay. Average tips of about $11.30 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $17.68. Kansas City's barbecue scene and St. Louis' revitalized dining districts provide the best opportunities, though competition for prime serving positions can be fierce. Number 22. Michigan. Michigan's tipped minimum wage is approximately $3.84 per hour, below average nationally. However, average tips of about $13.10 per hour bring total server earnings to roughly $16.94. The Detroit metro area and resort communities along Lake Michigan offer the best earning potential. Michigan has been debating raising its tipped wage, with advocates pushing for elimination of the tip credit entirely. Number 23. Rhode Island. Rhode Island's tipped minimum wage is approximately $3.89 per hour. Average tips of about $12.80 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $16.69. Providence's Federal Hill neighborhood, known for its Italian dining, and the Newport waterfront restaurants offer the best earning potential in the Ocean State. Number 24. Ohio. Ohio pays tipped workers a base wage of approximately $5.05 per hour. Average tips of approximately $11.60 per hour bring total earnings to about $16.65. Columbus and Cleveland have seen a restaurant renaissance in recent years, boosting earning potential for servers. Still, Ohio's reliance on the tip credit means servers' income fluctuates considerably based on shift timing and restaurant type. Number 25. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania pays tipped workers approximately $2.83 per hour, just above the federal floor. Average tips of about $13.40 per hour bring total earnings to roughly $16.23. Philadelphia's food scene is among the best on the East Coast, and Pittsburgh's revitalized restaurant districts offer growing opportunities. However, rural Pennsylvania servers face much lower earnings. Number 26. Texas. Texas follows the federal tipped minimum wage of just $2.13 per hour, the lowest allowed by law. Despite this rock-bottom base pay, average tips of about $13.70 per hour push total earnings to approximately $15.83. Houston, Dallas, and Austin all offer strong earning potential, particularly in the booming barbecue and Tex-Mex scenes. But slow shifts can mean dangerously low paychecks. Number 27. New Hampshire. New Hampshire's tipped minimum wage is approximately $3.27 per hour, but the state's lack of a sales tax and strong tourist economy help drive tips. Average tips are about $12.40 per hour, for total earnings of approximately $15.67. The Lakes region and White Mountains draw visitors year-round, creating consistent earning opportunities for restaurant servers. Number 28. South Dakota. South Dakota's tipped minimum wage is approximately $5.60 per hour. Average tips of about $9.90 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $15.50. The state's tourism hotspot, the Black Hills region near Mount Rushmore, offers seasonal earning boosts, but overall dining volume remains modest compared to more populated states. Number 29. Virginia. Virginia's tipped minimum wage is $2.13 per hour, matching the federal floor. Average tips of about $13 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $15.13. Northern Virginia's affluent D.C. suburbs and Richmond's booming food scene provide the strongest earning opportunities, while rural areas of the state see significantly lower server compensation. Number 30. North Dakota. North Dakota's tipped minimum wage is approximately $4.86 per hour. Average tips of about $10.10 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $14.96. Fargo and Bismarck offer the most dining options, and the state's oil boom regions occasionally see higher-than-average tipping from energy industry workers. Number 31. Iowa. Iowa's tipped minimum wage is approximately $4.35 per hour. Average tips of about $10.60 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $14.95. Des Moines' growing downtown dining scene offers the best opportunities, while Iowa City's college town restaurants provide steady volume but typically lower per-table check averages. Number 32. Georgia. Georgia pays the federal tipped minimum of $2.13 per hour, placing the burden squarely on tips. Average tips of about $12.30 per hour bring total earnings to roughly $14.43. Atlanta's Buckhead neighborhood and Midtown dining districts are where the best money is made, but rural Georgia servers often struggle with lower check averages and less generous tipping patterns. Number 33. Delaware. Delaware's tipped minimum wage is approximately $2.23 per hour, very close to the federal floor. Average tips of about $12.10 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $14.33. Wilmington's Restaurant Row and the Rehoboth Beach Resort area offer the strongest tip income, though the state's small size limits the overall number of high-volume dining options. Number 34. Wisconsin. Wisconsin pays tipped workers approximately $2.33 per hour, just pennies above the federal minimum. Average tips of about $11.90 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $14.23. Milwaukee's Third Ward and Madison's Capitol Square offer the best opportunities, but much of the state's dining scene is casual, which typically means lower check averages and smaller tips. Number 35. Tennessee. Tennessee uses the federal tipped minimum of $2.13 per hour and has no state minimum wage law of its own. Average tips of about $12.10 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $14.23. Nashville's hot chicken restaurants and live music venues on Broadway keep servers busy, But the state's refusal to set its own minimum wage leaves tipped workers with minimal safety net protections. Number 36. Idaho. Idaho's tipped minimum wage is approximately $3.35 per hour. Average tips of about $10.70 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $14.05. Boise's rapidly growing food scene has attracted national attention, and Sun Valley's resort dining offers premium earning opportunities during ski season. Number 37. North Carolina. North Carolina sticks with the $2.13 federal tipped minimum wage. Servers rely heavily on tips, which average about $11.80 per hour, for total earnings of roughly $13.93. Charlotte and Raleigh-Durham's growing food scenes have improved conditions somewhat, but the state's low base wage means a bad night of tips can result in take-home pay well below minimum wage thresholds. Number 38. New Mexico. New Mexico's tipped minimum wage is approximately $3 per hour. Average tips of about $10.80 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $13.80. Santa Fe's art-driven dining scene and Albuquerque's growing food culture provide the best opportunities, though the state's lower cost of living means servers' earnings go further than in many coastal states. Number 39. Louisiana. Louisiana has no state minimum wage, so servers earn the federal tipped minimum of $2.13 per hour. But New Orleans is a different story entirely. Average tips in the French Quarter and Magazine Street restaurants can push total earnings above $20 per hour. Statewide average tips are about $11.50, for total earnings around $13.63. The contrast between New Orleans and the rest of the state is among the largest in the country. Number 40. South Carolina. South Carolina follows the federal tipped minimum wage of $2.13 per hour. Average tips of about $11.50 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $13.63. Charleston's nationally recognized restaurant scene stands out as a bright spot, with servers at acclaimed establishments earning well above the state average during peak tourism season. Number 41. Utah. Utah's tipped minimum wage is $2.13 per hour. Average tips of about $11.40 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $13.53. Salt Lake City's dining scene has grown considerably, and Park City's ski resort restaurants offer some of the best seasonal server earnings in the Mountain West region. Number 42. Nebraska. Nebraska's tipped minimum wage is $2.13 per hour, matching the federal floor. Average tips of about $11.20 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $13.33. Omaha's Old Market District has earned national recognition for its dining scene, offering servers some of the best earning potential in the Great Plains region. Number 43. Indiana. Indiana pays tipped workers just $2.13 per hour, matching the federal floor. Average tips of about $10.90 per hour result in total earnings of approximately $13.03. Indianapolis offers the best opportunities, especially around the downtown convention center and sports venues. Outside the capital city, server earnings drop considerably, making Indiana one of the tougher states for tipped workers. Number 44. Wyoming. Wyoming's tipped minimum wage is $2.13 per hour. Average tips of about $10.80 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $12.93. Jackson Hole stands out as a premium market, where resort dining and wealthy tourists drive significantly higher tips, but the rest of the state offers limited restaurant employment opportunities. Number 45. Kentucky. Kentucky's tipped minimum wage is $2.13 per hour. Average tips of about $10.70 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $12.83. Louisville's Bardstown Road restaurant corridor and Lexington's growing food scene provide the strongest opportunities, while bourbon tourism adds a unique earnings boost for servers at distillery restaurants. Number 46. Arkansas. Arkansas's tipped minimum wage is approximately $2.63 per hour. Average tips of about $10 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $12.63. Bentonville has emerged as a surprising dining destination due to the corporate presence in the area, but much of the state's restaurant industry remains casual with lower tip averages. Number 47. Kansas. Kansas follows the federal tipped minimum wage of $2.13 per hour. Average tips of about $10.50 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $12.63. Kansas City straddles the state line with Missouri, and servers on the Kansas side benefit from the metro area's strong barbecue and dining culture. Number 48. Alabama. Alabama has no state minimum wage law, defaulting to the federal tipped minimum of $2.13 per hour. Average tips run about $10.40 per hour, giving servers total earnings of roughly $12.53. Birmingham's growing culinary scene offers pockets of opportunity, but statewide, Alabama ranks among the lowest for server compensation. Number 49. West Virginia. West Virginia's tipped minimum wage is approximately $2.62 per hour. Average tips of about $9.90 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $12.52. Charleston and the Greenbrier Resort area offer the strongest earning potential, but the state's overall dining market is limited, making full-time serving positions harder to find. Number 50. Oklahoma. Oklahoma's tipped minimum wage is $2.13 per hour. Average tips of about $10.30 per hour bring total earnings to approximately $12.43. Oklahoma City and Tulsa have growing food scenes, but the state's lower menu prices keep tip amounts modest. The Paseo Arts District in Oklahoma City is a standout area for higher-end server earnings. Number 51. Mississippi. Mississippi sits at the bottom of our rankings. With no state minimum wage law, servers earn the federal tipped minimum of $2.13 per hour. Average tips are about $9.80 per hour, among the lowest in the country, bringing total earnings to just $11.93. Lower menu prices and dining check averages across the state directly translate to smaller tip amounts for hardworking servers. The tip credit debate. The tip credit system remains one of the most controversial policies in American labor. Supporters argue it keeps restaurant prices low and allows servers to earn well above minimum wage through tips. Critics counter that it creates income instability and disproportionately affects women and minorities, who make up the majority of tipped workers. Currently, 43 states allow some form of tip credit. The gender pay gap in tipping. Studies show that tipping perpetuates a gender pay gap in the restaurant industry. Research from the Economic Policy Institute suggests female tipped workers earn roughly 84 cents for every dollar earned by their male counterparts. Women make up approximately 66% of tipped workers nationwide, yet they are more likely to work in lower tipping establishments and face higher rates of wage theft. Key takeaways. The gap between the best and worst states for server pay is enormous, from over $31 per hour in Washington to under $12 in Mississippi. States that have eliminated the tip credit consistently show higher total earnings without the feared restaurant closures. The 7 states with no tip credit, Washington, California, Oregon, Alaska, Montana, Minnesota, and Nevada, all rank in the top half of server compensation. All figures are approximate and vary by location and establishment. Conclusion. Whether you're a server looking for the best place to work or a diner wondering where your tip matters most, the data is clear. Location matters enormously. Tipping culture pays off most in states with strong base wages and thriving restaurant scenes. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment letting us know your state and whether you think the tipping system should change. Don't forget to like and subscribe.